tell you my memory of Darcy, and she may or may not remember this. When I moved here right after 9/11, there was a function that I went to, and it was on Main Street. It was a club, restaurant kind of place across from the courthouse, and Darcy and I were having a conversation. So this was 20 plus years ago, so there was no Tori, her husband. These three beautiful girls were a dream somewhere, and she was doing weather at WLTX. She was the weather girl. And I remember her talking about Tori at the time. They were dating, and she shared with me that, they were kind of talking about doing something, going to the next step. And I just remember her being so beautiful, so warm, so loving, so girl next door. Before I knew it, she became the lead anchor at WLTX. And while I don't remember how that happened, I know it had to do with her personality. Everything that you see and may think you know about her on the air is who she really is. She is a beautiful person. She is very girl next door. She is kind and loving. She doesn't meet a stranger. And she just celebrated 25 years on the air at WLTX. She is an award-winning journalist. And I tell you, in this industry, you good if you spend 5 years at the same station, more or less 25 years. And in this market, we have a couple of people who have done that. A couple of years ago, she said yes when I asked her to host an event at Brooklyn Baptist Church. And I didn't know it at the time, but she shared with me that it was the first time she had done anything since her beautiful mom had passed away. And she said she didn't know if she could do it, but she said she drew from the strength that her beautiful mother gave her to do the event. People who pass away give us that strength. We, I believe, are closer to those people who leave us on this side than we were before, because they're with us every second of the minute. I pray that she will draw from that same strength today with her beautiful three girls with her to share with us whatever is on her heart to say, to motivate us, to encourage us, to uplift us, and to help us to embrace who we are as women and girls. She shared a lot with you on TV and now through social media. And please know that everything that she has shared with you, everything that you may think you know about her, good and beautiful and pure. Well, she's got 3 kids, so she's probably not all 100% pure, but is absolutely true. I am honored to call her my TV friend, and that I can pick up the phone also and talk to her. Can you please put your hands together and welcome Darcy Strickland?
All right. Good morning, afternoon. Just look down at the time. Good afternoon. It is so good to be here with you all this afternoon. And I got to say this. So I said good afternoon, and then what did you do? You said what? You said good afternoon back to me, right? So every day, 5 days a week at noon, I say good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for News 19 at noon. And guess what? Nobody else says it back to me. So it's always interesting to be able to stand in front of people and say good afternoon, which is a greeting I've been giving for 25 years. And when I hear it back, it makes me happy. So thank you so much for saying good afternoon to me. Now, I know there's a slideshow behind me. I kind of know which pictures are coming up, but I don't really. So if you guys, say something and want to know more about it, then just stop me and I'll tell you what's going on. But as you can imagine, most of these photos are of my three lovely daughters who have said to me, Mommy, don't make us stand up. So I'm not going to make them stand up. But by way of introduction, I will have them raise their hand because I know y'all think they're triplets, and they're not. So my oldest, mommy part 2, is Logan. Logan, raise your hand or stand up if you want to. See. So Logan is 17. She is a rising senior at Westwood High School. She is number 4 in her class. She has an internship this summer at Lexington Medical Center. And so, you know, everybody thinks their kid is going to find a cure for cancer, but I've been speaking that over her entire life. My baby is going to find a cure for cancer. She wants to be a geneticist, so I don't know what she's going to cure or what she's going to figure out, but I'm telling you right now, Logan Reese is going to do it. She's going to do it. I always joke with her, and you know, because typically people who don't know will say him when Logan is Logan. What did he do, or what is he, or, you know. And I always tell her, I said, I gave you a good law school or medical school name because they won't know who you are till you get there. And then they'll be like, okay, too late, I'm here, let's get it, let's get it. So my second daughter, my oldest twin, Layla Savannah. Layla, if you'll stand up or wave your hand. Wave your hand. So Layla is truly the oldest of the two by 1 entire minute, but she is also our middle baby. She's the boss. She tells everybody what to do, and then she walks away from us like she's not related to us. So she is the artist in the family. She designs clothing. She paints. She, according to her art teacher, he has never had anyone who has ever, in his time teaching, made a perfect score in his class, and she did it this year. Yep. So now I'm going to put her on Front Street for a second because she didn't want to take the art class. And I'm like, you're taking the art class. You're good at this. You're taking the class. So daughters, when your mama tells you you're good at something and you say, I don't want to do it, guess what? You still going to do it because we already know what you're good at, all right? So that's my Layla Savannah. And then my baby, Lauren Sophia. Lauren, wave or stand up. Wave or stand up. That's Lauren. She is the baby again by 1 minute. She is my beautiful, loving baby. She's the one who will still snuggle with me. So she, according to Logan and Layla, get away with murder. And she probably does because she'll still snuggle with me. And the other two won't even give me a hug. I'll be like, can I have a hug? And no. Lauren always gives me a hug. And so that's why Lauren always gets what Lauren wants. But Lauren she is articulate. She is smart as a whip. All three of them, very, very smart. We're so blessed. Articulate, smart as a whip. She also is a boss. I don't know how many of you in here have heard of the program Youth Corps. Have y'all heard of that program? Some of you are nodding your head yes. Listen, it is the best kept secret. If you know a rising 9th or 10th grader, write this down, Youth Corps. It's kind of like Leadership Columbia, but for kids. So they have a ton of different modules they go through. They learn about, they go to the State House. They talk to their lawmaker for their district. They have legislation they talk to them about. I think Layla and Lauren just graduated from Youth Corps Class 17. And so they talk to lawmakers about what, texting and driving, and what you wanted the legislation to be on texting and driving. They had a module where they learned about law enforcement. They learned about media. They run their own business. And when I say run their business, they actually get to keep a part of the proceeds. Not proceeds, no, profit, right, Lauren? They keep the profit, so the more they sell, the more they make, and then a portion of the proceeds goes to charity. And so why I say it's the best kept secret is that this is year 17, and I can say this in front of family, but we just only been doing it for about 5 or 6 years, if you know what I mean. Okay, so there you go. Logan always jokes. Logan was class 15, and she said, Mama, you always have me someplace with somebody with 2 names, Anna Catherine, Anna Grace, Anna. I said, wherever she at, that's where you're going to be too, because we need to know. What she know, what her mama saw. Okay, let me see that too. So back to Lauren. So Lauren was the CEO of her business group. So it was the module. So they sold coffee. So they had to package the coffee. They had to come up with their marketing. They had to sell the coffee. And then it came time for distribution of the coffee. So with Lauren being the CEO, she was the CEO. She had a CFO. She had somebody in charge of distribution. Layla was what? Assistant CEO. So we get to the day, and they're selling the coffee, and they're putting the coffee out, and people are delivering their coffee. And I guess it might have been 2 days after distribution, someone on her team did not have what they needed. And so the executive director of the whole program sends Lauren an email and CCs me on the email and says, hey, we're going to have to rectify this and figure out how we're going to make this happen. This is why I say get your kids in youth corps, because you got to have them in different environments to see what you might not have seen about them. So I was like, well, Lauren, I'll help you write your email. And then I started getting busy with something else. She said, no, I got it. So I said, well, let me see it before you send it. Well, it's too late. She had already sent it. So I was like, oh, Lord, what is child I said in this email? So I opened the email. When I tell you that was a better written email than some of the ones I've gotten from corporate at WLTX. My baby said she had policies and procedures in place to make sure that something like this should not have happened. And if you did not follow this guideline as outlined, you're going to have to figure out a way to fix this. It's going to come out of your profit, or you're going to, I said, you better tell these people. I said, you better tell your peers that you had a policy in place to make sure that this did not happen. Now, I would have never known that she was capable. I know she writes very well, but I would have never known that she was capable of that thought process and saying, that ain't me, that's you. I did what I was supposed to do. Now it's time for you to take the onus. I would have never seen that in her if it had not been for youth corps. So again, I say to y'all, please put me down as a reference when you sign them up. Let them know you heard about it from Darcy Strickland. Our kids need to be in it. Our kids need to be in it. So now that I have successfully embarrassed my little people, I again thank you for the opportunity to stand before you today as we celebrate our princesses and queens and just reflect again on memories that will last a lifetime. I come to you from the vantage point of being a mother with daughters and being a daughter who I believe had the best mama in the world. When I think back on my mom's final days, it's been almost 4 years since she passed, and I had the honor of being able to care for her in her final weeks. And she passed 3 days after Thanksgiving in 2018. And so I remember sitting at her bedside, and I was talking to her, and I said, well, Mama, let's talk about all the things that we're thankful for. And the thing that still just kind of chokes me up a little bit when I think about it, as I was holding her hand and I was rubbing her hand, and I said, oh, Mama, I am so thankful for you. And at that point, she hadn't really been speaking a lot. She had kind of started to transition, and she squeezed my hand, and she opened her eyes real wide, and she looked at me, and she said, no, I thank God for you. And I immediately started going, Mom, I'm a mess. You always had to clean up everything for me. I'm not. And she said, no, I thank God for you. So no matter where you are in your life, just know your mama thanks God for you. Especially if she's in this room with you, especially. And so I think on a lot of different moms. You know, we think about Eve. And all anybody wants to talk about when it comes to Eve is that she did what? Nobody ever wants to talk about the fact that she was the mother of mankind. You know? When we talk about Mary, we know that, she was Jesus' mama. People kind of gloss over the fact that she was an unwed mother who had a baby in a barn because she gave birth to the Son of Man. When we think about Ruth, we think about what she meant to other mothers and to other daughters. And as we continue to shape our minds around memories of women and mothers and what they've meant, a lot of times we can find ourselves stuck in one part of the story. But I invite you and I challenge you to step back and look at the whole picture. All the time, every time you find yourself getting stuck in one part of the story. Again, these are my daughters. Nobody disrespects my job more than Layla Savannah. Layla just does not care that I am on TV. I'm going to just tell you that right now. Yesterday at 12:08, I looked down. I'm on air. 12:08, I'm on air. I looked down at my watch. Layla's calling. I hit ignore. So I'm still reading. Y'all don't notice, right? Because you're watching me on TV and I look like I'm fine. Phone rings again. It's Layla. I hit ignore again. And then my mind starts racing. I'm like, why is she calling me? Is something going on at school? What's happening? Like, I could not get to the commercial break fast enough. We get into the commercial break. I call her. I was like, what's up? Is Aunt Vicky in town? Really, Layla? Really? I have been on TV your entire life. Your entire life. Did you really just do that to me? I say that to say I'm just mama to them. I'm just mama. I'm just mama. I remember we were at an event and I had interviewed a little boy's sister who was in a play. And so obviously the family's in front of me and I hear them talking. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't see me behind him. I'm like, oh, this is the family of the little girl I just interviewed, because I could hear him saying, yeah, the famous lady from TV is going to be there. Here, she's going to bring a camera. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So I'm listening, but not saying anything. And Layla turns and looks at me, and she's like, who's he talking about? Me, Layla. I'm the famous lady from TV. I'm the famous lady from TV. But, it's fun, though. It really is, because she is not a respecter of persons, and I love that about her. And she got it honest, because my news director has been heard saying more than once that Darcy can go from the trap house to the White House and not miss a beat. Again, not a respecter of persons. If you're real, if you're going to keep it real with me, I'm going to keep it real with you, and that's how we're going to get through this thing. Again, as I reflect on the mothers who have meant so much to me, I think about, as I mentioned to Trey just moments ago, the mothers in Texas who are now mourning their children. And as I said to Trey when we were sitting at the table, I really have to find myself in a different headspace when I do this, because I'm tired of our kids dying. This time last week, I was on call. Last Saturday, there was a lot of rain in Columbia, and so it was flooding in 5 Points. Y'all remember that? It was terrible weather on Saturday. So I had to get a team together, and we handled that on Saturday. And then Sunday, in Newberry County, 4 teenagers were killed. Monday goes past, and now here's Tuesday. 19 children are killed. Wednesday goes past. Here's Thursday. 17-year-old boy killed in Columbia. As I was saying to Trey, when I reflect on the mothers who no longer have their children, all they have now are their memories. And I pray for them all the time, because I don't know what my life would be like without my 3. I can't even imagine it. I can't imagine it. And as difficult as it is every day to tell these stories, and as Trey said, wow, Darcy, it's not that you just tell these stories, you have to tell these stories over and over and over again. I do it because I know it's important. I know to whom much is given, much is required. And I know God would have never given me this platform if he did not think I was capable of handling it. But it's hard, y'all. It's hard. And it hurts. And I think this is probably the first time I've ever said this in front of an audience. Every time I sit down at that desk, whether it's 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or 6 o'clock, before you see me come on air, in the 10 seconds before we come on air, I always say, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. And it has not failed me yet. It hasn't failed me yet, and I truly believe it is 99.9% of the reason why I've been able to make it 25 years. Because I'm telling y'all, some days are really, really hard. And this week was one of those weeks when I had to talk about those babies, second, third, and fourth graders, every day, multiple times a day, and then get to come home and see my babies. Come home and see my babies. So the memories that last a lifetime are sometimes the best memories, and sometimes they're the most difficult memories. But thank God for the memories. Thank God for the memories. I tell my daughters all the time, especially when they have some type of presentation or they have to do something in front of an audience, because nobody ever believes this about TV people. They always ask TV people, oh, hey, can you come and speak? Listen, I'm telling y'all this. TV people don't like speaking in front of people. It's not our thing. It really isn't. Because, again, listen, you see us, but we don't see you. We don't see you. So just because we're really good in that venue doesn't mean that we're necessarily really good in this venue. People tell me all the time, I saw JR and he was so shy. JR doesn't like people. He just, like, he likes people, but he doesn't like people. Like that really is him. And so, as I tell my daughters, because I know that position of having to stand up and kind of step outside of your comfort zone, I always tell them, reflect on your successes. Reflect on your successes and remember that you have survived all of your worst days. So even though this feels like this is going to be so hard and so difficult and so impossible, you have survived everything that you thought was going to be really hard and really difficult and really impossible. And not only did you survive it, you thrived in it. You did really well in it. I say to Miss Walker, Sarah Walker, listen, I'm telling you, I have not done this since the pandemic. I'm going to get you to call student loan for me because you are persuasive. Because there's 3 things I don't do on Saturday. I don't wear Spanx, heels, or makeup. But Sarah Walker got me to do this. So I'm telling y'all, if anybody's still trying to get the loan forgiven, I don't know what the Lord has. This is her ministry of persuasion. Because this is my first speaking engagement since the pandemic. And so I am so honored and humbled to be here. I believe God placed me here for a reason, and I hope that there was at least something that I said today that each one of you will be able to take with you and share with someone else. As we used to say in the AME church, each one reach one, each one teach one. All right? God bless you. And if there are any questions, I was told to save a moment in case anyone had any questions for me. We have 3 minutes for questions. No? Oh, we got one right here. Yes, ma'am? Oh, Logan is already driving. She is driving. If you'd like me to post on Facebook which road she's on when she's out there. No, my baby is a very good driver. She's a very good driver. She's 17, so she's been driving, and the twins are not interested because Logan is their chauffeur, and she takes them everywhere they want to go, and so they're not interested. Yes, ma'am. Okay, your Layla is blunt, too? Yeah. It must be the name. Yeah, I think it's the name. Layla keeps it real with me. She keeps it real, yeah. Any other questions? Comments? Oh, we got one more. Yes, ma'am? Well, Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And again, I can't thank you all enough for hanging in with me for 25 years. They had a little celebration for me at work last Friday to, mark the occasion. And I said, I can't believe I ain't got fired yet because some days my mouth is real reckless. So I appreciate y'all not sending emails and saying, what did she just say? Because sometimes it comes out exactly like I'm thinking. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And anytime people say that, I always say, y'all my people. Like I'm not gonna do nothing to hurt my people. Um, it may be not even something that you have noticed at WLTX, but if, maybe you have, some of you haven't. But we've made a concerted and deliberate, intentional policy. We don't run mugshots because what we're not about to do is put up 10 pictures of your uncles and brothers and fathers and sons and make it look like that's all we do, because that's not all we do. So, I know a couple of people, I've heard our digital team say, well, somebody called and said we didn't have a mugshot. We're not putting it out there because that's not all we do. And just because you got arrested for it doesn't mean you got convicted for it. So we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So thank you. That does my heart good to know that you realize why we do what we do and who we do it for. Hey, baby. Yes, ma'am. They are not acting anymore. They have been so busy with youth corps, tennis, what else? Student government, getting into high school. What else are y'all doing? Seem like we always going someplace. Um, well, the last fall, Logan was busy being mama. I don't know if some of y'all probably know, but I ruptured my Achilles, so I was in a cast for 2 months. So that's why I call her Mama Part 2, because she stepped right up and just did everything that I could not do with one leg. So we're not acting right now, but once you get bit by the acting bug, it may go dormant, but it never goes away. So we'll see. We'll see. We might do it again one day. Y'all want to act again? Look at them, no. That's fine with me because that was a very expensive hobby. So yeah, that's fine with me too. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it sometimes it's a lot easier that now that they're older. Yes, I have had that mommy guilt, when you can't be at everything. And instead of buying one bike, you buy seven so you can ride one every different day of the week. Just get on a different bike because I missed the, whatever it was. So it's easier now that they're older. But yeah, if you ever see me start the 6 o'clock, but you don't see me in the 6 o'clock, it's because I'm on my way to something. Yeah, yeah. So after sports, if you don't see me when you come back, it's because I'm in the car trying to get to something for them. Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, ma'am. Hi. You too. Hey. Oh, hey, best friend. Hey, best friend. Well, thank you. Thank you. Uh-huh. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And that is part of the reason why I do it, because I believe it's the same reason why my girl's doctor is an African American female. It's the same reason why their dentist is an African American female. Because if you can't see it, you might not believe it's possible. So, yes, yes. Thank you for allowing me to be that. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That is the greatest compliment. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because we all been there as mamas. You know, it's like you acting a fool in here. You do act like this out, in public, and then somebody says something like that. So some of it is sinking in. Thank you. They also think I'm a little crazy, too. So they're like, oh, yeah, they only going to go so far. They're like, oh, mama from the hood. So they know. They know I don't play with them. Yeah, yeah. Every once in a while, let's see a little glimpse of it in the house. Like, oh, sit down, okay. All right, y'all. I know we're getting close to our cutoff time, so if there aren't any other questions, I just want to tell you again, thank you so much. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Keep praying for me. I'm gonna keep praying for us, and I will see y'all at noon, 5, and 6 on Monday.
Yeah, she's definitely one of us, homegirl, and we're so glad to have her there. We're going to keep the party moving by bringing up Project Tech CEO and Director, Miss Sarah Walker. Can y'all put your hands together for her as she comes, please? She's going to give us some final remarks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'd like to end by saying when a princess becomes a queen, and our princesses are our young girls and our teenagers. When we become an adult, then we become a queen. She must embrace the challenge that this rise to position presents. So, journeying from a cheery princess to a bold, courageous queen is quite a task. There will be adversities as you go through your journey. Oprah Winfrey once said that, and I quote, think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness. End of quote. So, young people, in your journeying from a cheery princess to a bold, courageous queen, I want you to remember that you can do anything with Christ or through Christ who strengthens you. We must never give up. We are fighters. We are winners. We are mothers. We are daughters. We are nieces. We don't quit. We don't stop. So, ladies, I want you to wear your crown as a queen. And, ladies, you are surrounded by queens today, both beautiful inside and out. Thank you so much for your attendance with us today. I would like to recognize some of the people in the audience. First of all, our First Lady Barbara Bowens. And Darcy, she is an attorney. Okay. Also, our pastor and foremost, Dr. Thurman Bowens Jr. He's not present today, but he supports us in all of our endeavors that we do here at Project Tech. We also have our staff. Perry Oliver is our coordinator of programs. Baron Henderson, who you saw at the ticket booth or ticket table, is our administrative specialist. Of course, Trey Taylor, we couldn't do it without you, Trey. You are our marketing manager. And I refer to these people as our technology geeks. Desiree Smith, Wanda Wiley, Jahi Augustus, and Deirdre Jones. Our healthcare person is Marsharika Hennigan, who did our blessing for us. Regina Moore is our evaluator of Project Tech. And of course, I could not do it without this man in my life. Oscar Walker is our volunteer. And let me also acknowledge that Project Tech is under the umbrella of TECC, T-E-C-C, which stands for Trinity Educational Community Center. And our executive director is Mr. Kirk Shields. He's not here either. And again, Dr. Bowens is the chairman of the TECC board. Do we have any board members here, TECC board members here? Okay, if not, so we'll go on with that. Now let me share with you who also happens to make all of these things happen. We cannot do without our partners. We have partnered with Evidation, which is a health management team that measures your health data. We also have partnered with Flavored Fork, which is our chef. Tajma Talks, who does sign language for us. The Benedict College English and Speech Department also works with us. I Advocate, which is a company that has brought about some of our funding sources outside of our State Department of Education. We're mainly funded by the State Department of Education. And of course, our Spring Valley Rotary Urban Farming Project. If you looked over in our area, if you came in on the Two-Notch roadside, I believe that is, you will have seen some raised beds. That is sponsored by the Spring Valley Rotary, and we have healthy vegetables already growing in our garden. And we are going to get another bed for our summer program, the BMW, which stands for Blooming Mind Weekends. They will also have their raised bed where they will plant their garden as well. So we're doing beautiful things here at Project Tech, and I thank you for your support. Spread the word, let everyone know. We still have about 10 spaces left in our summer program. Again, that's grades 3 through 5 and middle school grades 6 through 8. You can see one of us if you need an application. Okay, all right, all right, thank you. So Tiffany, I'm thinking about you because we're in Evidation together. I will now turn this back over to Trey.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. I've been called worse than Tiffany. It's okay. Listen, please continue to put your hands together for Ms. Walker. And all of the staff that put these phenomenal programs together. As Ms. Walker said, don't forget about the Blooming Minds Weekend. Still a couple of slots available. Don't forget, next Saturday, there is the Cancer Survivors Paint Party. It's virtual. That's also happening next Saturday, and it's free. And then in June, keep your ears open, and please check the website for more information about the Men in Blue Men's Celebration happening in June. Again, projecttech.org. Please like us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And don't forget, ladies, when and if you take a picture today, as I know that you will, please tag Project Tech. Just the little asterisk sign. What's it called? The little number sign? Number sign. Thank you. Hashtag, thank you so much. Hashtag Project Tech. We want to get that activity up on social media and let everybody know what an amazing time you had today. This has been such a great event, an event for women of all ages, women from all backgrounds, mothers and daughters and sisters and aunties and nieces, and just women. It's been a celebration of who we are, what we are, and whose we are. So I will just leave you with this. If someone doubts you, remember that you are a queen. You are a princess. If someone questions you, remember that you are a queen. You are a princess. If someone tells you no, remember You are a queen. You are a princess. If someone disrespects you, remember, you are a queen. You are a princess. You deserve only the best. And you can get it when you recognize who you are and whose you are. Because when you do that, no one can tell you anything about yourself because you don't have to believe it. You know what's true. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. Please stand up and give yourselves a hand. Take care. Have a beautiful Saturday. God bless you. Continue to get to know each other, love and hug, and fist bump each other. And don't forget to take some pictures and post and tag. Take care, and God bless you.